Right, lots of green grass sitting in the tractor, and it's time to make some supplement. Got the mower tacked on the back. Oh, that back window is dirty. So I've been trying to just feed my sheep on grass. It's the cheapest product I can grow to feed those sheep. But I run a few cows, and the main farm's over here. There's a road over there, and it's 2 k's down a gravel road to the main farm, which is 400 acres of cow farm. We run dairy grazers. So I do a deal, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this paddock here. I cut the second paddock, cut the third paddock, and it's going to go to the main farm, and I'm going to swap it back for hay. But what's in this paddock? This paddock, this one now, we've got some clovers coming through, both red and white. We've got some flatweeds. We've got some crappy brown top grass that's probably not that nutritious. Oh, here's some more weeds. There's some buttercup. Oh, I saw some yarrow. This paddock was actually destined to be my lamb paddock when I weaned them, but it just got away on me a little bit. So the plan is I'm going to make silage off this to grow better lamb grass. When I came to this place, oh, that's not very good light, let's turn around. When I came to this place, no real fertiliser history. I have done a soil test, and I'm going to talk about that another day. And I've attempted to actually get it back to growing some grass. Turns out there's lots of fertility locked up in my soil, not being released, high aluminium, pH is crap, so lime has been the answer. And this paddock, even though it isn't a fantastic paddock, I'll admit that, it's way better than it used to be. Let's move to the second paddock. It's a bit more developed than this one. It's a little bit longer. This one is just going to be a really light crop, and as I said, it's going to be for weaning my lambs on to grow better grass. And I'm using the mower and the ability to make supplements to improve my grass. So the idea is actually that I will make the silage here, and it'll go to the main farm, and if I need hay, I'll reciprocate back and I'll get some hay. Oh, look at these fellas. Californian thistles. This place was covered in them, and I'm kind of getting them under control as well. Though this paddock hasn't had a blanket spray across the whole paddock. So this paddock, as you can see, I've done a bit of a weird grazing thing there with the cows, because there used to be some hay bales along there, or some silage bales, and it grows really thick long grass, and the rest of the paddock isn't actually ready. And this paddock's getting well past for the sheep, but they still do alright on this sort of stuff. There's still plenty of feed underneath, and it's quite varied in the paddock. It's very thin over that part, much thicker through the middle. We do a similar deal with the neighbour. The neighbour over here, he's 90, and we've already taken a crop of silage off that, and then we'll pick up his hay. Now, a lot of people think that sheep don't eat hay, but my sheep will eat hay just fine, but it took a bit of training. So this is my back paddock, and I've just squeezed the tractor with the mower, this tractor, and that mower through that little 10-foot gate. It's a bit of a challenge. So this paddock, when I got here, was just flatweeds. There was next to no grass at all. And looking at the paddock, we can see that there's quite a lot of buttercup. Buttercup does like an acid soil. So reading the weeds, we can tell that this paddock isn't in perfect health, but it's a way better than I got it. It's actually green. This paddock was just a brown mess when I came here. So the idea here, you can see here, we've got the sheep. Let's go out of it. Very short here. The sheep have grazed there. They've left all these patches, and same with the cows. The cows have been through here a couple of times. So I'm just using the tractor and the ability to make some supplement, again, to grow better grass. And as I said, I'm going to get hay back. My goal is to feed as much grass as I can. And I got through last winter fully on just grass. Though it's a little bit limited, and I kept them in my gully. And I had some bigger cattle on. Not many, but I had some cattle on. And it was a little bit tight. So this year, because I have increased my sheep numbers, my stock numbers a little bit, my plan is, as I said, make some silage, and then I'll get some hay back. Big bales, somewhere between a 10 and a 15 bale equivalent. Last year I actually made 30 bales of silage off this property. But the idea, again, as I said, I'll get hay back, and that's also going to get some better grass species, because on the other farm we've planted some new pasture with much better ryegrass species, and that should hopefully help improve my grass species for minimal cost. Hay is very convenient, small bales, small numbers of animals, and I can handle it very well. I don't need the tractor to move those big bales around. The first year I actually also had some big bullocks on here and some bulls, and I had them in this paddock, and I did a blanket spray for all the broadweeds, took all the clover out, but lots of flatweeds gone, and I've actually grown more and more grass each year. This paddock has had lime on it this year, and it's about to get some more. Alright, let's get in and mow some grass. Hello guys, there were 6 of those this morning, and now there are 4, and tomorrow there will be none. That's what the ewes are in at the moment, and you can see pretty much up to their bellies in grass, which isn't ideal. It isn't the ideal tucker, but it's not bad summer food, and the ewes actually do really well on there. But I need something better for my lambs. That's the idea of making the silage. Those ones are down in the shade. Last year in the back paddock, I got through the winter with the cows by deferred grazing. And basically it means locking the paddock up and not grazing it for a while, and then grazing it later. And it actually works really, really well, and the cows do really, really well on that. I've done that 2 years in a row on that same paddock. Unfortunately, I was trying to do a different paddock, but it just didn't work. And that's how I get through with the cows. And I break feed them, move them every day. Last year it was once a day. The year before it was twice a day, because I had more cows. And I had the calves, which are behind me there. Oh, they're the cows. Hey guys. So the big cows were in that to begin with, and later on the calves joined them. The ewes I pretty much set stock over winter, and I did beautifully last year. They came in just about perfect condition, and getting them too fat is a problem. But I think if I'm going to have more ewes, I'm growing more grass, I'm getting rid of more weeds, I'm going to need that supplement to maximise the production. I'm not keeping up with the grass over summer. Shows, or at this time of year, it shows I could have more sheep on a property, more cattle. At this time of year, we tend to go dry February, March. Whether that's going to happen is another story, and that's one of the reasons I'm taking the precautions and putting in some supplement. The chickens are also doing their job. Hey guys, so this paddock here has been grazed by the stock, and I just gave it a top. It's got way too much on it though. You can see there's way more than there should be. It's not ideal at all, so I might just flick the tedder over that, roll it up and shove that extra material into a bale. I'm done for today. I've mowed those 2 paddocks. I'm going to mow the last paddock in the morning. And I'd love to know what other guys are doing with supplement feed. Those guys overseas, what are you doing? I've watched some videos on the American guys and they had these in the barn. Other American guys had them outside. The UK, some in barns, some outside. There was a comment made about me eating sheep nuts. I had a plan to do some videos and I wanted my sheep to be quiet. I don't normally give sheep nuts every day. It's just a way of getting them up to be friendly. And it's also come in handy if there's been any problems and I've had to lock them up in the barn with their lambs or anything like that, or do any treatments, because I can control them much better with the sheep nuts. And that's the only reason I do it. I don't do it as a matter of course. It's just a little bit of a bribe for my sheep. And I wanted to be able to, also, of course, doing these videos, getting them up nice and close so I can show you in the paddock or in the shed, and use the sheep as volunteers. It's a little bit sad. Empty pig pen, but they will be tasty. So after a couple of days of drying, so I cut this on Thursday, just laid on the ground Friday, and that increases the sugars in this grass. But we don't want to drop too much moisture out of it. We want to leave some moisture in to allow for the fermentation process of the silage, and then we roll it up. Silage is off, cow's cleaning up the outside edges, and look over here, see that? That's my neighbour riding his horse. The guy's 90. Got a lot of respect for that guy.